Good morning, AFSCME. My name is Stephen Abdalmalik. I am a visiting junior from UC Santa Barbara and a proud AFSCME Union Scholar. It feels really good to say that. When I was asked to give this speech about Student Worker Coalition, the history of the labor movement and education, I have to admit I was a bit nervous. I didn't know what I was going to speak about, but now I know. I decided that the history of the labor movement is personal, and as such, I will be referencing my own personal narrative in it. To me, this speech is deeply personal, as is our fight for justice. 10 years ago, when I was 9 years old, my family immigrated from Egypt. My parents sacrificed everything they had to come to a foreign country with a foreign language. At the time, we had nothing. And although they worked extremely hard, long hours and night shifts, we could never afford more than a used car. My parents don't have a retirement account or a 401k. They have me. I am their investment. And last year when I went off to college, I carried that responsibility with me. Now, some say that's unfortunate, that that's an isolated case, but I refuse to believe that that is an isolated case. And I refuse to believe that my family's struggle is unique. My parents' struggle is not unique, as so many of us are trying to keep our heads above water. Rent, food, doctor's bills, car insurance. Basic necessities become straining burdens, and indignity becomes the norm. In late May of last year, right around this time, I discovered that my hall janitor's sister had just passed away. To my surprise, he showed up to work that same day, not because he wanted to, but because he needed to. His contract did not allow him paid grievance leave, and he needed the money that morning for rent the following day. And that day, think about this for a second. That day, on the day his sister died, Mario had to show up to work, cleaning 8 bathrooms in 2 different apartments. So let me ask you this, AFSCME. Do you think that's injustice? Yes. I absolutely agree. The fight for justice is deeply personal, as are our personal stories. In that moment, Mario reminded me so much of my own father. Both were immigrants with beautiful, thick accents that proudly proclaimed their heritage. Both have children, and most importantly, both were working low-paid jobs day after day in a system that exploits people like them by design. When the federal minimum wage in this country is just above $7, that is injustice. When our janitors and construction workers are making pennies on the dollar because their contract unfairly brands them as temporary workers, even though many of them have been working there full-time for years, that is injustice. When women in the workplace make an average of 80 cents a dollar that a man makes, that is injustice. And when college tuition is so unaffordable that the student loan industry is now larger than the credit card industry, that is injustice. Enough is enough. Students and workers must unite, because while our struggles are different, our battles are the same. I know this because in November of last year, when the University of California, my home university, announced a tuition hike so massive that it would have locked many of us working class students out of the university, guess who stepped in? AFSCME stepped in. And with your help, AFSCME, we fought back. As a result, the university just announced a tuition freeze for the next 2 years. So I'm asking you this. When you go back to where you're from, How will you fight injustice? Whatever your answer is, know this, and let me leave you with this. When students and workers unite, nothing is impossible, because when we fight together, we win. Thank you.
Express yourself.